Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, we're going to be getting the front tubular control arm kit welded onto the chassis and then put that suspension back together. Here my buddy Marty is starting to tack everything into place and we're making sure it's all lined up and looking good. He did an amazing job. He also makes a lot of really cool car related, automotive related art. I will put his Instagram in the description down below. Please check it out. The welds came out fantastic. Big thanks to him. Now it's time to get it off the truck and back into the garage. Sorry I didn't get any footage of me putting it on there, but it's basically this process in reverse. It was actually probably easier to get it in there, but I'm just utilizing my axle dollies and a little bit of muscle. It's really not that hard. You can actually kind of see how light this chassis is and how easy it moves around, but now we get it back in place and ready to start going back together. Here you can see some shots of the welds before I clean them all up. Everything came out great. As I said earlier, I'm really happy with it. Everything's fitting nice. They're welded as best as possible on the inside. You know you can't get a complete circular around, but it's definitely not going anywhere. So now I'm going to start cleaning everything up so that we can get them painted back to black again. I'm going to use this little angle die grinder with a flap disc. It seemed to work really well. Everything went pretty quick and easy. Here I'm just going to throw the control arms again, make sure everything's still looking good. This is probably the third time I've test fit them since getting the tubes welded on. Nothing's really changing, but giving me kind of a better visual now that it's back in the garage and I'm getting ready to start going forward on more of this reassembly. I had to go grab the old persuasion tool, a couple real light taps, almost basically letting the weight of the hammer falling do all of the work, but I'd rather it be slightly tight sliding through than loose and have to worry about any suspension walking around. That's only going to wear things out and cause problems in the long run, but everything fits real nice. Looks like it's going to line up perfectly as it should. There's no reason for it not to, but now we can take the arm back off and start working on painting. finalize the good old engine hoist. I'm gonna spray this with some matte black enamel. It's nice, easy to cover. We're not going for show finish, just want to protect it from any kind of rust. Time to start putting some more of this stuff back together. I've already got the driver's side control arm back on. You can see I got the chassis and all the new tubes painted back up. Bring out the good old hammer again, a couple little taps to get it in there. And now we're going to put the washer and just a standard nut this time. The kit does come with nylock nuts, but we're not going to use those as we might need to take some stuff on and off again, just to be sure, not gonna wear those out. It's easy enough if we don't have to remove anything to just change those. We also need to rehang the rear end, so I'm gonna start doing that now. I could have adjusted everything and edited it, but I left my struggles and remembering the order in which I needed to put these control arms in, because that's just what actually happened. No need for me to edit stuff around and really set up the shots that much to try to make things perfect. I'm not a mechanic. I'm learning some of this stuff as I go, and mistakes are going to happen, so I tend to try to leave those in the video. These upper triangulated links were giving me some problems because of how the axle was sitting. They were actually kind of twisted, so I was seeing if they needed just a little persuasion, but I wasn't liking how much pressure it seemed to be putting on the rubber bushings. So here coming up soon, you can see that I figured out it'd be best to put the lower links on first, and then I can rotate the axle, and lo and behold, they slide right in. And here you can see that axle rotation I was talking about. It put the upper links in a much better position for them to just slide back in and get it all reassembled by hand. From the kit manufacturer, these bolts for the upper links and also the lower links do not have any recommended torque settings. I do plan to try to find some from Curry Enterprises or some other high-end rear end manufacturer, as I'm sure there is a torque setting that could be applied, and I will likely use some Loctite on those bolts as well. Now for the rear coilovers, I am going to add an extra washer. That's going to be 4 on the outside and 1 on the inside. The reason for that is the threaded portion that it goes into is actually blind threaded, so the bolt can bottom out. You can't actually tighten it down enough without the washers due to the length of the bolt, but those are what came with the kit. So this way I have enough space to actually make sure when I torque it, it's applied on the bushing and not just bottoming out in the chassis, which could still allow the upper eyelet to flap around. You can see me using my body weight to take the pressure off of these bolts to finish threading them in. And then all that's going to be left is to take the axle off of the jack stands and allow the chassis to sit on those rolling chassis stands, and we're done. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate that. In the next video, we are going to be going over some reassembly of the front end, and hopefully soon I'll have another engine video for you guys.